The movie starts in a futuristic Japanese society. The government has implemented a complex nationwide rule named the Red Threads of Science. According to this rule, when a person turns 16, they are assigned a romantic partner by the government. The partners are chosen after extensive research about both parties, like their hobbies, habits, families, and so on. The main aim of the law is to encourage successful marriages and combat increasingly low birth rates, which are threatening a lack of manpower in Japan. Over the years, the system has proven to be fruitful, as almost 100% of government-arranged marriages are successful in producing offspring and are less likely to get divorced. The only drawback of the law is that people sometimes fall in love before they turn 16 and do not want the government to interfere with their love life. In such cases, those who disobey the arrangement face penalties and get less privilege as citizens. The protagonist of the film is a cheerful high school girl named Aoi. She is about to turn 16 in a day and is super excited about finally getting to meet the love of her life. All her friends are also thrilled for her, as they have been eagerly waiting to turn 16 for as long as they can remember. Today, at 12 at night, Aoi will get a federal notification containing all basic information about her chosen one. She cannot wait for the notification and is on her feet the entire day. While returning home, Aoi meets her childhood best friend, Yuto. The girls in the school fawn over him since he is one of the best-looking students. However, Yuto doesn't take any interest in them because he is in love with Aoi. He has frequently tried to confess his feelings but has always backed off because he is too shy. He is happy being her best friend, but now that she is about to find someone to love, Yuto is worried that their friendship will fall apart. As they chat about different things, Yuto teasingly mentions that she was his first kiss. The scene goes into a flashback when the two were still in elementary school. At an annual program, Yuto got the role of the prince. However, Aoi was assigned a wildflower. She wanted to be the princess so badly that at the climax of the drama, she pulled Yuto and kissed him. They still laugh about the incident to this day. In the following scene, Aoi, her parents, and her uncle are having a birthday dinner at her house. Even Aoi's parents are excited about the notification, which is scheduled in only a few hours. Aoi's parents also met through the government program, but her uncle is still unmarried. It has always been a topic that no one likes to talk about, so Aoi doesn't dig into it. Later, she is given a dress that she wears to bed. As time passes, she gets more nervous, but then Yuto gives her a call. They meet outside and he hands her a gift for her birthday. It is a penguin showpiece that goes well with her room. Yuto knows everything there is to Aoi, like how she touches her hair when she lies. He easily finds out that she is nervous when she touches her hair and claims that she isn't. To calm her down, they decide to reenact how she will introduce herself to her chosen one. Aoi starts talking about herself, which makes Yuto feel a range of emotions, especially because she is looking at him like she would look at her boyfriend. He cuts her off and confesses his love, taking Aoi by surprise. He also tries to kiss her, but she retreats in shock. Yuto is dumbfounded and can do nothing but apologize. Before they can talk further, they are interrupted by Aoi's match, named Sosuke. He introduces himself and gives her a bouquet of flowers. The man is better than what she had imagined and is dashingly handsome. Mesmerized by his presence, Aoi forgets about Yuto. He congratulates them and leaves right after, giving the other two some alone time to talk. Aoi turns towards her Prince Charming in excitement, but he names a time and place before turning around and leaving abruptly. The poor girl questions if she is dreaming before returning home. They meet at the said place the next day, which turns out to be a fancy restaurant. We find out that Sosuke's father is the chairman of a big hospital, and Sosuke is supposed to inherit the wealth and position someday. He is also looking to go to med school. He is smart and ambitious, but not so big on conversation. Aoi continues talking to cut the awkwardness, but a while later, Sosuke stops her. He pulls her outside, making her blush because of their joined hands. Sosuke then asks her who Yuto is, but cuts her off before she even answers. He doesn't care what kind of girl Aoi is, and thinks of their relationship as a societal formality. Hence, even if she has more guys she is interested in, it doesn't bother Sosuke. Aoi tries explaining that she is nothing like that, but Sosuke cuts her off again. The next day at school, her friends are jealous of her for landing a rich and hot boyfriend. Aoi agrees, but deep down, she doesn't know how to feel about Sosuke. In the following week, they go on several dates, all of which Aoi doesn't enjoy. Sosuke walks too fast for her, doesn't talk much, and never smiles. At one point, Aoi feels like someone is threatening him to date her. Having had enough, one day, she dresses up as a supposedly rich lady who matches his status. The dress-up is over the top, but Sosuke doesn't comment about it. Aoi again tries making conversations, but he dismisses her with simple answers. She even inquires if he has told his friends about her, but Sosuke thinks the question is outrageous, because he would never do something like that. Aoi leaves the restaurant after another failed date, losing hope that she will ever get along with him. Then, she meets Yuto, who advises her to meet his parents and find out more about him so the conversations can be more meaningful. Aoi agrees and goes to his house the very next day. Sosuke's mother is kind, but his father is on the stricter side. He asks Aoi to behave herself now that she is about to be a part of their family. Sosuke overhears him and burns in rage. He has never liked his father because the old man thinks he owns his son. Seeing him do the same to Aoi, Sosuke can no longer control his anger. He stands for his girlfriend, asking his father to stay away from her. After that, they walk to the bus stop together, talking about many things. Sosuke apologizes for not being good enough for her. Aoi, in turn, claims that she hardly knows anything about him, but since he stood up for her in front of his father, she is assured that he is a good person. Or maybe he just hates his dickhead dad. Aoi's bus arrives, but Sosuke doesn't let her board it by pulling her around and kissing her. The bus drives away as the two continue kissing. Aoi is over the moon the next day. She thanks Yuto for the advice, even though it didn't work out the way he thought it would. They refrain from talking about his confession and engage in other lighthearted conversations. Yuto's birthday is in a few days, and he will also get to meet his assigned partner. However, unlike Aoi, he is not too excited. When Sosuke and Aoi are on their next date, she brings him to a shop to buy a scarf for Yuto as a birthday gift. After that, they go to an aquarium, but Sosuke is not in a good mood. Sosuke feels that something is fishy. Aoi registers that he is jealous and hugs him because him being jealous means that he likes her. Sosuke smiles at her for the first time, and the two share a kiss. In the following scene, Aoi gives Yuto the scarf. He reveals that he talked to his chosen partner, but she lives in another part of the country, so they have decided to meet in the summer. Since Yuto has no plans for his birthday, Aoi thinks it is a great idea if she brings him along with her and Sosuke. Initially, the date is very awkward, but the guys start talking when Yuto discovers that Sosuke chose his scarf. By the end of an hour, they get along pretty well, but then the two are left alone, without Aoi. Yuto asks Sosuke if he knows what things Aoi likes and dislikes, her mannerisms, her ambitions in life, or anything that a partner should know. Sosuke is guilty of never paying much attention to his girlfriend, so he has nothing to say. Yuto, on the other hand, lists the things that Aoi likes, and explains how Sosuke can be a better partner for her. They eventually get into a fight, and Yuto leaves. For the next few days, he doesn't come to school. Then, one night, Aoi finds out Sosuke is moving to Tokyo, to a better university. He will spend the next 6 years there, so the two will have to be in a long-distance relationship. To avoid living apart, he suggests that they move in together. However, this will only be possible if they get married. It is a trend for 16-year-olds to get married and start a family. Hence, Aoi gives it some thought. To clear her head, she goes to her uncle's the next day. He talks about his chosen partner who moved abroad when they were still together. She never returned and is happily married to someone in London. According to him, living with the penalties is easy if you are with the person you actually love. Although scared, Aoi feels ready to start the new chapter of her life. In the following scene, Sosuke and Aoi are in Tokyo, attending an open campus event. Aoi is bored in the lecture, but seeing Sosuke enjoy it makes it worth it for her. After the lecture, they visit several places, eat new food, and have a lot of fun. In the end, Sosuke brings her to a church and gives her a little cat compartment box that she had always wanted. It brings her joy, which is then multiplied when she finds an engagement ring inside. Aoi says yes, and the two start preparing for the wedding. She also informs all her friends about the proposal, but a part of her still feels empty because of Yuto's absence. Elsewhere, Yuto gets the wedding invitation through the mail, but doesn't react to it. It is the week leading up to the wedding, and Aoi has a lot of work to do, but the thought of her best friend never leaves her mind as she misses Yuto terribly. Moreover, she and Sosuke have their first fight when he refuses to let her talk to his parents and maintain a good relationship with them. Aoi gets that he doesn't like his father, but she wants to form a connection with his parents on her own as well. Sosuke refuses to listen and shuts her down whenever they have a conversation about his parents. The expensive dinner dates soon turn boring as they figure out that they do not have many things in common. One day, Aoi goes to Sosuke's father's hospital and talks to him about the wedding. The meeting goes seemingly well, as he has finally started to respect boundaries. While leaving the premises, Aoi notices Sosuke walking towards his father's office and follows him. She overhears him begging his father to write a recommendation letter for a friend in need. It is soon revealed that the said friend is Yuto, and he has a second-stage brain tumor. His treatment can only be done in an expensive hospital in Tokyo, but after the recommendation letter, he will finally get a chance to save his life. In the next scene, Sosuke hands Yuto the papers and asks him to not lose hope, since the chances of his survival are still high. Meanwhile, Aoi sits alone in a park, still unable to comprehend what she heard at the hospital. Since Yuto doesn't want her to know about the disease, she decides to pretend to be unaware. It also makes her realize that she loves Yuto much more than she lets on. Then finally comes the day of the wedding. The guests arrive at the venue, where all the preparations are done, but the bride and the groom are late. Outside, Sosuke meets Aoi and compliments her beauty. He asks her what is making her sad, even though he has a pretty good idea of what it is. When she doesn't reply, he inquires if she is in love with Yuto. Aoi is quick to deny it, but then she touches her hair. By now, Sosuke knows what that means. He tells Aoi that her happiness is the only thing that matters, and if she feels like she is about to be stuck in a loveless marriage, she should run away right now. He also promises to handle the guests and the parents before encouraging her to hurry up. Filled with tears, Aoi thanks him and runs to the airport, where Yuto is about to fly to Tokyo for brain surgery. They meet at the terminal, and Aoi expresses her love, as Yuto did on the night of her 16th birthday. Initially, Yuto freaks out, asking her to return to the church, but in the end, his dream comes true, and they share a kiss. Leave a like if you're like me, and you're really glad this movie didn't end with Yuto's death. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.